Unlike the regular season, a day in spring training starts rather early. There's a lot of drills that are going on. There's an awful lot of stretching that's going on as well under the bright Florida sunshine. It's so bright, not only do you need to wear shades, but also Aaron Altair using his cap to shade his eyes from the sun. The Phils did a lot of work on the base paths before they got set to take on the Toronto Blue Jays here this afternoon. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Ben Davis. Greg Murphy will join us in just a few moments. All right, so third week of spring training. Not much has been decided as far as the limited roster spots that are still left for the Phillies. Included in that is the bench. We'll see some guys like Andres Blanco, who were with the team last year, but we're also going to see some fresh faces this year.
Absolutely, and a lot of these guys are being given an opportunity. We know how important a bullpen is. We know how important a bench is. Your team's only going to go so far as those two are going to carry you. There's a battle going on right now. There is a big battle going on. Whether they keep an extra outfielder, extra infielder. We know Andres Blanco is going to be there. He's been a perennial bench player in his career, but there's some other guys that are really opening some eyes. Aaron Altair, Brock Stassi. There's a couple guys that really trying to do everything that they can do to make this ball club.
Now, a lot of it has to depend on the 40-man roster spot and whether there's space for a lot of these guys, but Nava's been good. Coughlin has been versatile for the Phils. Altair was going to be a starter last year before the injury. He's probably going to be a bench player. It's going to be an interesting battle the rest of the way.
It's going to be very tough for Pete Mackanin to decide which one of these guys or a couple of these guys he's going to keep. One of these guys is Brock Stassi. He's been a very good first baseman. He's working in the outfield now. The offensive numbers are there, and he recently had a chance to catch up with Greg Murphy.
Well, spring training is all about winning jobs, and one guy who knows all about that is Brock Stassi. So, Brock, you come here with a chance to win a job. What's the mindset for a young player like yourself?
Just go out and compete every day, have fun, get better each day. Try not to live in the past at all. You know, the start that I've gotten off to has been great, but there's still work to be done, so I'm trying to get better each and every day.
Is one of the more difficult challenges the balance between, arriving in Clearwater, ready to go, and also pacing yourself throughout? Because, spring training is a long grind.
Yeah, I mean, I never really think about pacing myself. I'm always trying to open eyes, whether it's on defense in the outfield now for a little bit, or first base or in the batter's box. Can't really afford to pace myself in the situation that I am, so I'm trying to hit the ground running and keep it rolling all the way through the end of spring and hopefully into the season.
Having fun doing it?
Absolutely.
That's all you can do. Guys, we'll send it back upstairs.
All right, Murph, thank you very much. Brock Stassi and the Phils getting set to take on Francisco Liriano, making only his second start this spring. He'll be opposed by Jared Eichhoff. Eichhoff making his third start here in spring training. Command of his fastball was an issue last time out for Jared. He's looking to tighten that up here this afternoon. Well, the Phils are above the 500 mark so far in spring training, which is a good thing. They'll look to add to that when we return with lineups and first pitch. Here we are at Spectrum Field. The Phils and the Toronto Blue Jays going at it. The first time the Jays are over from Dunedin, which is the closest spring training facility to Spectrum Field. Jared Eickhoff out on the mound warming up. Let's take a look at the Blue Jays lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Well, a lot of the regulars are over for the Blue Jays, which, as we mentioned, you would expect because it is so close to Dunedin, including Troy Tulowitzki, who's batting cleanup today and playing shortstop for John Gibbons' squad. And Kevin Pillar is the everyday center fielder, leads it off. It's our first look at Kendrys Morales, who's over at first base. He was the pickup from the Kansas City Royals this past offseason. So here is Eickhoff making his third start. His command of his fastball really was his issue during parts of his start last time, Ben.
The curveball was very good. We know that is his out pitch. But the fastball command was, he struggled with it the other day. And I'd like to see that get a bit better today. Take a look at the scouting report for Jared. 88 to 93. He'll sit at about 91, 92. The big curve, slider, and change have come a long way. Very durable last season, just 3 innings shy of 200.
Yeah, very durable, and kept the ball around the strike zone for most of last year. So he's ready to go, and he will face Kevin Pillar to lead things off for the Blue Jays, who come in with a record of 2-8-1 this spring. Logan Moore doing the catching today for the Phils, and the first pitch of the afternoon is in there for a strike, so we're underway. Last year, Pillar hit .266 with 7 home runs, 35 doubles. Man, could he play the outfield.
Fearless. He is fearless.
This spring, you saw his numbers hitting .400, and just to give you the overall numbers, 6 of 15 with 3 doubles. Low, ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. It'll be Pillar, Morales, and then Steve Pearce. Another good bat that the Blue Jays have picked up. Fly ball left field. It's not deep. Howie Kendrick is there, shading his eyes from the sun, and he makes the catch. It is a bright, sunshiny afternoon here in Clearwater, Florida. Temperatures are 80 degrees and will be rising as the game moves on. Very slight breeze going from left to right.
You never know what you're going to get, but you know you're going to get some sunshine down here in Florida. See Howie Kendrick struggling with that, but able to come up with a grab.
Here's Kendrys Morales, who's had a good spring, 6 of 11 with a double and a home run, and in the first pitch right at the knees. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Morales is a home run so far. He's going to probably be the DH, but then could play some first base for Toronto. They have Justin Smoke, who they signed to an extension last year. They're not hurting for offense.
No. I think Encarnacion, that loss of,
it's going to hurt.
It's going to hurt. Of course, going to Cleveland.
But the thought is that Kendrys Morales could be the replacement for Edwin Encarnacion. He's a little different, obviously, but could still be the replacement.
He's a switch hitter as well, which helps.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Morales. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. A lot of times his curveball is north-south. That one looked like it was northwest to southeast.
Just filthy. Morales not only out in front of it, but right over the top of it. That hook's in midseason form, Tom.
Now, is that a good sign? You know, the fastball command was the concern last time, but the fact that his secondary pitches have been so good, does that make it a little easier?
It does, because you know the fastball command is going to come around.
That's more time than anything else.
Especially with Jared. Yes, exactly.
Here's Steve Pearce. He's only had 4 at-bats this spring. Last year he played for Tampa and for Baltimore and had 13 home runs. Outside with a slider, 2 balls, no strikes. And a line drive into left field. That'll be a base hit for Pearce. Howie Kendrick gets to it quickly. And the Blue Jays have a base runner with 2 men down here in the first. And that brings Troy Tulowitzki to the plate.
2-0 cookie. You know what you're going to get. Pierce doesn't miss it.
Tulowitzki 0 for 2 so far this spring. Last year 24 home runs, 79 runs batted in. You can hear the Jays fans in the background. But the chant that was made popular when Tulowitzki was with the Colorado Rockies. Off the end of the bat, back toward the middle. Smartly played by Jared Eickhoff because he didn't play it with his bare hands. Putout goes 4-3, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 man less.
Dear fellow citizen,
Francisco Liriano is loosening up out on the mound for the Blue Jays. Let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup for today. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Cesar Hernandez leads it off at second. Then Howie Kendrick. Maikel Franco, with Odubel Herrera being off in the World Baseball Classic, slides to the number 3 spot. Phillies also get a chance to see Andrew Knapp play first base today, and Logan Moore doing some catching against the Toronto Blue Jays. And there is the veteran Francisco Liriano. He has had himself a heck of a career. He's only pitched in 1 game this spring, and he went 2 scoreless innings. He has a fantastic changeup, and always has.
Very good changeup, very good slider as well. Pitch has come a long way for him. Look at his scouting report, 93 to 98. The slider changed, 2-time comeback player of the year, but he will walk you, Tom.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the honor that you want to have, is the 2-time comeback player of the year.
But he will walk you. 86 walks last season with just 163 innings pitched.
Is that because, I mean, he's labeled as somewhat of a nibbler, even though at certain times he threw in the mid-90s? Like even there, 92 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Here's Cesar Hernandez, who's 5 for 19 this spring, which isn't bad considering he was 0 for 10 to start spring training. So 5 hits in his last 9 at-bats. Outside corner, 1-2. Ball had some run on it.
It sure did. Not much you can do with it.
Liriano last year pitched in 21 games for the Pirates before being traded to the Blue Jays. Was 6-11 for Pittsburgh. And then with the Blue Jays 2-2 and 8 starts. Very good ERA. He's made the All-Star team 1 time. And a foul tip hung on to. And there's that changeup, and Cesar is down on strikes, 1 away.
Just comes out of his hand so hot, and then it just dies as it gets to home plate. It's a heck of a pitch. Cesar way out in front.
Here's Howie Kendrick. Kendrick 4 for 20 this spring with an RBI. On the outside corner, 0-1. Good breaking pitch, 0-2. I thought Mike Schmidt had a lot of cool things to say about Howie Kendrick the other day when he was on the telecast. He was shooting was here as you watch this breaking pitch from Liriano. Schmidt said, you know, in his assessment, just being here a few days, he can see the influence already that Kendrick has had on some of the younger players. And his reputation has preceded him as far as being a likable guy. And Pete Mackanin has said the same thing.
There's nothing not to like.
I'm with you on that. 2-2. And what will those numbers look like as the year moves on? I think time will tell, but the fact that he knows where he's going to be playing might ease it a little bit. Three balls and 2 strikes.
See Liriano making a concerted effort to try and pound right-handers in. All that's going to do is really set up that changeup down and away.
Flag down or knocked down by Liriano. And Kendrick is thrown out. They always say you can't panic on plays like this, and it is true.
I don't know if this ball is going to get up the middle. I think Tulowitzki would have had a play on it. Liriano does knock it down, and he did not panic. Makes a good firm throw to first base. While they work on it. Pitcher's fielding practice.
I think the big thing too, it helped him, is that he got in a good fielding position, but it was also on his glove side that he was able to field that one. Here's Maikel Franco. He's had a pretty solid spring so far. His average at 263. He's 5 for 19, but he's had some good at bats, which has not been lost on Matt Stairs and Pete Mackanin. Phil Cuzzi's behind home plate. Marty Foster's at first. James Hoy at second. Nick Lentz is over at third. I think Nick Lentz this year is the Vic Carapazza of the umpiring crew. He's at every Phillies game.
Actually surprised they have a 4-man crew today. An option to go with a 3-man crew recently.
Phillies lost yesterday to the Atlanta Braves 3-2. But other than that, they've played pretty good baseball at 6-5-2 this spring. Folks always wonder, does it matter what their spring training record is? Well, it's better to win than lose. I mean, look at the Blue Jays. They're 2-8-1, and they have to answer questions about the fact that they're 2-8-1.
Put that uniform on. You want to win.
Towards shortstop, Tulowitzki on the short hop. 1-2-3 first inning for Francisco Liriano. One of the books on a beautiful day here in Clearwater. Top of the second inning, the Phillies and the Blue Jays scoreless, and it will be Jared Saltalamacchia leading things off against Jared Eichhoff. Let's go down to Greg Murphy's with Jeremy Hellickson.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Yeah, and Jeremy Hellickson threw 4 innings yesterday on the road for the Phils. Gets to relax a little bit today and get a chance to talk with us. And, well, first of all, I guess we can say welcome back, because in the offseason, you had some decisions to make. You make the decision to come back and play for the Phils. Take us through that, because it's obviously a place that you want to be a part of.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, very happy with the decision I made. You know, as you know, I love it here. You know, love the guys, love everything about it over here. So it was a pretty easy decision, you know, that I'm happy I made.
But you get those decisions out of the way in the offseason. Now you can focus on baseball. You've got 3 outings under your belt during spring so far. We were just talking back here in the tunnel, and you said, hey, feeling pretty good. And that's exactly what you want a pitcher to say at this time of the year.
Yeah, I mean, especially for, you know, 4 innings, you know, first week of March. You know, probably couldn't ask to feel any better than I do. You know, after the 2-inning stint, I was pretty sore, but, you know, other than that, I've, you know, felt really good day 1. You know, felt great on my bullpen day. So, you know, pretty excited where I'm at right now.
You know, you're a veteran, obviously, of this time of the year, and you know how you need to get your body ready and ready to go for the season. As you get older, does that change from when you were, you know, in your early 20s now to the point you are now? Do you do anything different?
You know, I think in the past I've kind of, you know, not built up innings like I am this year. And I think, you know, hopefully it works out where, you know, I come out of the gates a little stronger. You know, I get up to, you know, 6 innings, 100 pitches or so, and, you know, so I'm ready for the 100-pitch mark, you know, right away. You know, hopefully that will, you know, work to my advantage in April. You know, I haven't, you know, got out to the best of starts, so, you know, hopefully it works out.
When you arrived last year, obviously, in this clubhouse, you were one of the new guys, and you were, you know, finding your way and then meeting the guys. This year, you come in knowing most of your teammates, and I would imagine we saw you last year, not only so effective out on the mound, but really effective inside that clubhouse as well. I know there was some talk about you helping Vince with a breaking ball. Do you relish that role as a veteran guy, as a teacher and a leader with this young staff?
Yeah, I do, and you know, with the young guys we have, it's easy. You know, those guys are, you know, mature beyond their years, and you know, just easy to relate to. You know, Vince, you know, Ike, Nola, you know, Adam, Ash, you know, all those guys, Eflin, all those guys. Sky's the limit for them, and you know, I just, you know, any questions they have, I'm there. And you know, that was a big reason. You know, I was excited to come back to be with those guys again.
You just said one word I was about to use, excited. There's a lot of excitement about this team up in Philadelphia as the fans in Philadelphia get ready for this team to come north. What about the excitement level inside that clubhouse? Because I know there's a lot of optimism in there.
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited. You know, I know there's a lot of people still doubting us, but, you know, as long as the fans are excited, you know, we're excited, and, you know, we all feel good about our chances. We got a good team. You know, we added some veteran guys to the back end of the bullpen that will help a lot, as well as, you know, position players. So, you know, and then adding Clay to the rotation. You know, coming from Boston, and
it's all kinds of stuff happening out there. It's okay. Everyone's reacting to nothing, I think. So go ahead, finish.
But no, Clay coming from Boston. You know, probably Fenway's got to be the toughest place to pitch. So, you know, him coming over here, he's gonna bounce back and have a great year, and, you know, looking forward to learning from him too.
Well, certainly excited to have you back in a Phillies uniform, and look forward to the season ahead. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back upstairs. Explain what was happening there, Tom.
All right, Murph. So that was a foul ball, basically.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
It was a foul ball, Jeremy.
Andrew Knapp was under it in foul territory, but the wind kind of took it back toward fair territory. But it bounced and then bounced in front of the bag into foul territory. So just a strike, and there's strike 3. So here it is. Take a look at it one more time. I mean, obviously, it should have been a catch by Andrew, but the wind kind of took it back into play.
Comes in here and he says, uh-oh, this is when you go into panic mode.
Yeah. Fortunately, though, it did bounce into foul territory in front of the first base bag.
And fortunately, he did not touch it.
Yeah, because if it was fair and if he had touched it, then it wound up going into left field.
Yeah.
There's Ezekiel Carrera. Now, Carrera and the guy that just struck out, Melvin Upton, will most likely be a platoon out in left field for the Blue Jays. At least that's the initial thought for John Gibbons. 1 ball, no strikes. Swing and a miss. And it's 1-1. Set. Carrera 3 for 7 so far this spring with a double. 248 with 6 homers and 23 RBIs last year. Off the end of the bat toward our vantage point.
Nice pitch there. You really see Logan Moore getting in underneath the hands of Ezekiel Carrera. Now Logan gets inside here. And he does hit that mitt. Nice pitch there by Jared.
In the dirt, 2-2. Eichhoff, the former 15th round selection by the Texas Rangers in 2011. Last year in the second half, he had a 3.46 ERA, which was even better than the first half when he had more wins. Curveball and a strike 3 call. Well, he always has that to go back to, which has really turned into an above average major league pitch.
It's just. It just jumps out of his hand so much. You're thinking there's just no way this ball's going to come down, and it does.
There's Darwin Barney, who's playing third base today. Josh Donaldson will be the everyday third baseman for the Blue Jays. Barney turned into a pretty decent extra man last year. At 269 with 4 home runs, and they have some injuries where he could wind up playing a little bit more to start the season. Now that's the slider at 85 miles an hour. His curveball will usually be in the 70s. There's John Gibbons. 10th season as the Blue Jays manager, finally over the 500 mark because of the last 2 years where they've gotten to the postseason.
Can't believe he's been there 10 years.
Well, 2 different tours. He left for a couple of years and then was rehired. When you see stuff like that, it kind of makes you feel like you're 40. 1-2 pitch. And outside, 2-2.
We're going there already. It's the second inning.
And we have 2 days to talk about it. So Ben's celebrating his 40th birthday, everyone, tomorrow. Joining Murph and John Kruk and Mike Schmidt in their 40s. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Barney. Over to the right side. That'll be a base hit. Saltalamacchia stops at second. And that puts runners on first and second with 2 men down. And Ryan Goins will be the batter.
Nice piece of hitting here. Really all you can do with that pitch. Spray it to the right side. Actually gets beat by it, but quick hands.
Ryan Goins so far 3 of 16. Hitting a .188 this spring. Hit .186 last year in limited time in the big leagues. Playing second base today. Off the end of the bat, flare to right center field. That's going to be in for a base hit. And it's going to go to the wall. 1 run is in. Rounding third and heading for home is Barney. He's going to score. Goins is on his way to third. And he'll get there standing with a 2-run triple. And the Blue Jays take a 2-0 lead. To be honest with you, off the bat, I didn't think that was going to get all the way to the wall.
But tries to get a pitch in here. It's just down. I know the lefties love that pitch down and in, but I agree with you. It didn't sound very crisp off the bat.
I think it was more where the outfielders were playing, but they couldn't cut it off. So Goins is over at third, and now the top of the order, Kevin Pillar, with the Blue Jays up 2-0. Pillar flied out to short left his first time up. Down and away, 1-0. All depends on pitch count, but the thought would be for Eichhoff to go 4, possibly 5 today. Bob McClure is already on the phone, so they may get somebody up. Spring training's a little longer this year, so you know the rotation and when guys are stretched out to, let's say, 5 or 6 innings is really going to depend on the calendar. And it may not be as early as past years because there's so much time left. Matt Hockenberry is starting to warm up in the pen for the Phils.
"37 games in spring training. Hard to believe."
Way outside, he overthrew it, and that'll put runners on first and second. First walk issued by Eichhoff. And Bob McClure is going to head out to chat with Jared with Kendrys Morales coming up. What are you seeing, Ben, so far?
I actually think he looks good. You know, he left a couple pitches. Even the pitch that Goins hit wasn't. I mean, it was down in the zone. You want to miss down or off the plate. It was not a strike, but he golfed it out to right center. But overall, I like what I see out of him. I think he is overthrowing his slider a bit. Definitely yanking that towards the first base side, down and away. I'd like to see maybe mixing a few more changeups.
Yeah, we saw him throw a couple changeups early in this inning. Saturday, April 8th, it's McDonald's opening night at Citizens Bank Park. In fact, the opening night T-shirt will be given out to fans 15 and older. It's all part of that national series. The 7th, 8th, and 9th. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. All right, so the meeting on the mound is over. He got Kendrys Morales last time on a curveball. One of his 3 strikeouts today. Phillies are also scheduled to use Alec Asher this afternoon, and Asher is being stretched out as a starter. Edubray Ramos is scheduled to pitch out of the bullpen. So is Colton Murray. And they've got a couple of minor leaguers up from the Carpenter complex, including Hockenberry, the Temple grad, who is loosening up in the pen.
Sounds like a name out of the natural. Hockenberry.
There's so many pieces to the legacy of Temple University baseball, but the fact that they no longer have a program, and he was part of the last team at Temple. It's pretty nice that they have a piece of their legacy playing professional baseball.
Absolutely.
Outside, 3-0.
Jared very frustrated right now. Not a guy that shows a whole lot of. He's got his mound presence is spectacular. Doesn't show a lot of emotion on the mound, but you can see he's a little frustrated at this point.
And ball 4. I think he's fighting Phil Cuzzy a little bit on these last few pitches. Back-to-back walks. Now the bases are loaded for Steve Pearce. Well, he threw 12 pitches in the first inning, so he's at 31 pitches here in the second. And you know, they want him to keep on pitching, but there comes a point where you don't want him to overtax himself in one inning. Spring training. Roller back toward the middle. Galvis gets to it, pirouettes, throws to first in time to get Steve Pearce. Well, that's a little midseason defensive form for Freddie Galvis. We saw that often last year. He went deep into center field before he unleashed the throw. Starts with a little darkness up in New York City because New York Mets director Bill Webb, also Fox director Bill Webb, who won so many awards during his time in the game of baseball, passed away this past week at the age of 70 after a long battle with cancer. Now, all of us who go from stadium to stadium, we get a chance to meet all of the folks, whether it be the front office folks, the members of the media, or the television folks from other cities. And I had the chance to work with Bill not only on Fox games but also when I was in New York for a couple seasons, and he was one of the funniest guys you'll ever come across, but so talented in the truck. For all the years over the last 30 years or so that you've watched the World Series on Fox, he did a majority of those games, and he is part of the artistry of working in the television truck. We are fortunate enough to have similar people with us with the Philadelphia Phillies, but Bill Webb passed away last week, and our condolences to his family and also to the New York Mets organization, because they not only launched a network while he was there, but he was with the previous network, and it's a huge undertaking, and it was a sad day to see that he finally succumbed to his battle with cancer. So our thoughts and prayers go out to the Webb family and also to the New York Mets family as well. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Michael Saunders leads things off for the Phillies. Saunders, who last year played for the Blue Jays, hit .253 with 24 home runs. They picked him up from the Seattle Mariners, and the first year he was with them, he sustained an injury which cost him most of 2015. So he was able to wear the Blue Jays uniform in the All-Star game last year as he takes low, 3-2.
A tough spring training matchup here against Liriano. Could be very tough on lefties. He's got a delivery where he just really hides the ball and short arms it.
And there's ball 4. Leadoff walk.
Can't say I agree with a 3-2 slider to the leadoff hitter after your team just puts you up 2-0. But it's spring training time. You got to work on it at some point.
Well, it opens the door up for Tommy Joseph now. Tommy DHing here this afternoon. Hitting a .174 this spring. Tapper foul, and it's 0-2. Just thinking back to that interview that Murph did with Tommy Joseph the other day, and how true it is that in one calendar year, and you see this in sports, whether it be baseball or football, in one calendar year, his life has totally changed.
And then some.
And then some. Last spring, he would emerge from the minor league camp about 3 weeks in just to get some at-bats because he was having such a good spring at the Carpenter complex. He had made the adjustment to first base.
That's what makes this game so great.
Swing and a miss. Joseph is down on strikes. And with one away, it'll bring Andrew Knapp to the plate. And you wonder, Murph, like, who's that next guy that his life will change in one calendar year?
Yeah, you hope it's some of these young guys that we've been talking about along spring. But what I wanted to mention, you know, in talking with Tommy Joseph, we've gotten the chance, obviously, to know him over the past year. And I'm not sure anybody has had more fun watching his life change than Tommy Joseph has had over the past year. He has just enjoyed every minute of it, and really, you know, allowed the people around him to enjoy it along with him, which I think has been really fun. You don't always see that, I should say, with some of these guys, but Tommy has kind of allowed everybody to kind of hop on and enjoy the ride with him.
Yeah, we did a couple of appearances together this past off season with the Philly Fanatic, the Fanatic About reading program, where you know, someone would read the Fanatic book and they would have the Fanatic act it out, and Tommy was part of the cast that acted out, and he had a smile on his face the entire time, and it was fantastic.
He just really appreciates where he is and the opportunity he's, I wouldn't say given, that he's earned.
0-2 to Knapp. Swing and a miss, ball in the dirt. And Knapp strikes out. That's the third strikeout for Liriano.
That's a nasty slider in the dirt. Of course, Philly fans used to seeing that big sweeping slider number 32 used to throw. Steve Carlton made a living out of it, Hall of Fame career out of it.
Here's Freddie Galvis. Freddie so far 241 last year and 5 for 21 this spring. Matt was in the office today talking about Freddie and how his swing from the right side is kind of catching up from the left side of the plate.
You always know if there's a righty or lefty starting. With the 3 switch hitters that the Phillies have in their lineup today, predominantly taking all their swings from the right-handed side. Cesar did that. Andrew Knapp and also Freddie Galvis today.
Well, this was a fantastic defensive play to end the last half inning.
Just to able to get to the ball, that's one thing, but to refocus after you do that pirouette, that takes some talent.
Change-up, swung on and missed, and Liriano has just struck out the last 3 batters after the leadoff walk to Saunders. And we head to the third.
Need more 4G LTE data?
Sunday, April 9th, when the Phillies take on the Washington Nationals. It's Cavity Busters Kids Opening Day, and the Phillies hooded sweatshirt will be given out to fans 14 and under. Tickets can be purchased for that entire series by going to Phillies.com. We invite you to do that right now, or you can call the ticket office. The folks are watching the game right now as we speak, so they're longing for a phone call. Tell them Ben said hi. We go to the top of the third. Troy Tulowitzki will lead it off. It's another great day here in Clearwater, Florida. Tulowitzki grounded out his first time up.
First pitch swinging he was.
Sounded like Yoda there. First pitch swinging he was. First pitch is a strike. It's 0-1.
Tulo's always amazed me in the fact that he never really gets settled. You know, you always want to make sure you get your foot down, but his feet are always moving, both feet.
Center field, Aaron Altair. Eichhoff had him lunging a little bit after that one. One away.
Some good fastball location right there.
And here's Saltalamacchia, who started the 2-run rally with a looping single to right field. Saltalamacchia last year played for the Tigers, had 12 home runs. He hit just $171. That one is smashed deep to right field, and it is gone. Some quick hands right there. It's 3-0. Toronto's on top with a solo home run from Saltalamacchia, his second home run of the spring.
First at bat, saw some pitches, was able to hit a bullet line drive to right field, and goes up his second at bat and crushes one towards right center. See Logan Moore set up away. He goes out and gets around that pitch somehow and still able to barrel it and drive it out to right field. Ball well out of here. Good extension.
Melvin Upton hits one through the hole on the left side. So back-to-back hits. That's 6 hits given up by Eichhoff so far. He had 2 1/3. Ezekiel Carrera will be the batter. Well, he was right on this.
The first pitch swing. Easy. Melvin Upton Jr. to have a short swing, but to put up the numbers he has, a lot of strikeouts, it still really isn't a compact swing. You think he would make more contact than he does. Nice play by Logan Moore. I do like watching him. I mean, defensively, he's excellent behind the plate.
Toss over to first, and Upton is back. There's Logan Moore in action.
Very smooth. Really is a talent to be able to block the ball and keep it, you know, where the base runner is not going to be able to advance. A lot of guys can get to it and they'll block it, they'll barrel it with their chested up, but sometimes you get so rigid with your chest that the ball actually deflects. You know, if someone's going to punch you in the chest, you're going to get tight and rigid, but you really have to try and exhale and let that deaden that baseball in front of you.
Ball's butted foul by Carrera, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Oof. Good move.
He was able to get up to in between steps before he threw over to first. One ball and 2 strikes to Carrera. He struck out looking his first time up. Out 2-2. Sounds weird, but you could see that was a pitch out from the get-go.
You still have to maintain your normal leg kick if you're Jared Eichhoff, and if you're Logan Moore, you can't pop out there too soon.
I think both happened where they didn't maintain the leg kick, and Logan Moore did pop out. Carrera holds up on that breaking ball, and it's 3-2.
And after those 2 quick pickoff plays at first base, Melvin Upton Jr. now most likely he'll be running here with a full count, but he has looked like he's made no attempt to even get a jump after he was almost picked off. Go for a strike him out, throw him out here, Tom.
Runner does go. Pitch is hit through the hole on the right side. Upton will go on to third base. 7 hits now for the Blue Jays, and they have runners on first and third with 1 man down. And that'll bring Darwin Barney to the plate.
This fastball does seem to be a little flat. Like Jared normally he doesn't throw like a true sinker, but he does have some movement. It seems like that fastball is a little straighter today.
Let's see if he can get out of it now with Barney. Hockenberry is back up warming in the bullpen for the Phillies. On the outside corner with a slider, and it's 0-1. Fly ball, right field. Saunders is under it. Tagging from third is Upton. The throw is past Knapp, and Upton scores. Sac fly, and it's 4-0 Toronto.
Good hitting there.
Well, less than 2 outs, get that run in.
It's one thing that this lineup over the last couple of seasons has had no problem doing.
Getting runs home.
Man, they can score in bunches.
Upton left at the same time as Saunders caught the ball.
What's good about that throw is he kept it low enough where Carrera couldn't advance to second base. Now, if he airmails Andrew Knapp at first base, you might see Ezekiel Carrera trying to advance a base right there. He kept it low enough where Andrew could have cut it himself or let it go through.
Heard Larry Bowie yell front as the ball went off the glove and I think the shin guard of Phil Cuzzy. Here's the throw by Saunders.
Michael gets a good job of getting behind it. What do you see right there? Knapp could have cut it because it was low enough and not airmailed over his head.
And an easy hop for Knapp. That'll wrap up the 3rd inning. But the Blue Jays do score a couple more runs on 3 hits. They leave 1, and will leave for the bottom of the 3rd.
Welcome.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy rights. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Phillies trail at 4-0. Bob Stumpo, you see him there on the screen. He's coaching first base today for the Phils. He's one of the Phillies batting practice pitchers, also bullpen catcher. He was with the Phils as a player and then as part of their staff up until last year, and then took a year off, but now is back. So he's over in the first base coach's box. Mickey Morandini is in the third base coach's box because Juan Samuel is off in the World Baseball Classic with the Dominican Republic. There's Mickey.
A lot shorter walk for him in his sore hip.
That's exactly it. He needs that from time to time. Logan Moore leads it off. Because a lot like you, Ben, Mickey is not a spring chicken anymore. 1 ball, 1 strike to Logan Moore. Jason Grilli is the right-hander, or one of the right-handers. The other one is Jared Grube. One ball and 2 strikes. Mentioned Liriano went 2 innings his last time out. There's some thought that he is only going 3 today, and then they'll go to the bullpen.
He's looked excellent.
Sure has. He's not allowed a hit yet. He's only allowed the 1 base runner. That was the walk to Saunders.
And he bounced back last inning with 3 consecutive strikeouts.
Pitching coach, you got to keep a lot of paperwork with you in the dugout. Out of play again, and it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes to Moore. Logan Moore last year in the Phillies farm system continued to impress everybody with his defensive abilities. Check swing over to third. And 1 away as Darwin Barney makes that play. And 1 out for Aaron Altair. Altair playing center field today. 6 for 20 this spring. He's having a quietly good spring training so far. You know, last year he got hurt on the first day, first set of games in spring training, and everybody thought he would be the everyday right fielder. Mentioned during the outset that he's most likely going to be a bench player this year. So he's going to have to learn, at least for 2017, how to prepare himself to be a fourth outfielder. I think the difference with him, Ben, I don't know if you agree with this, or Murph, if you agree with this, he is so good defensively that he may play more than most fourth outfielders because he's going to get in late in games as a defensive replacement.
I can see that.
And Murph, what did Matt say today about Aaron? What else does he need to do as far as being a bench player goes?
Yeah, Matt Stairs was talking a little bit about how you have to change your approach at that point. You know, you're more than likely not going to be able to get 3-4 at bats a game in the role that he's going to probably have. So Matt would like to see him be able to maybe, you know, shorten that leg kick just a little bit and be able to put the ball in play late in games if he's going to come in as a defensive replacement. But Matt's been very happy, as most of the coaching staff has been, about the spring that Aaron has had. He's doing exactly what he needs to do to make this team.
Well, he goes down on strikes, but that's nothing new because that's the 5th strikeout for Liriano through 2 2/3. Here's Cesar Hernandez, who struck out to start the bottom of the first inning. And it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Not only does Liriano have a short arm, but he hides it right behind his left hip. He gets into that leg kick. He just never gives you a glimpse of the baseball. And then it comes right out of his ear. And then he paints you down and away 2-0.
Yeah, he's been in total command here today. And he's only thrown 45 pitches. Back to the box, and it'll be 46 through 3 innings for Francisco Liriano. Still no hits for the Phils. We've completed our first 3.
It's
go to the top of the 4th inning for our Toyota report, and Roy Halladay is back with the Phillies and will be in camp from time to time. Now, Halladay split his time in the big leagues between the Blue Jays and the Phils. Of course, won 55 games with the Phils, had a perfect game, and also pitched a no-hitter in the postseason. I think it's going to be interesting to see how he acclimates himself to this new role, because there's no doubt he has the knowledge to pitch, but also to condition himself to pitch. And I think that's a big part for some of these younger pitchers, is to see how he goes about or went about preparing himself as a big league pitcher for so long.
I was actually talking with Ryan Lawrence today, and he had written a nice article about Doc yesterday. And
the Philly boys.
I said that what he did, as we see Alec Asher come in the ball game here, what Doc did, yes, his stuff was nasty. We know about the 2 Cy Youngs, no hitter, perfect games. But the way he conditioned himself the way he conditioned himself is the one thing. He expected to go out and pitch 9 innings every time.
Right.
He did, and I'm not saying that these pitchers nowadays don't do that, but I think a lot of them, if they're 6 innings pitched, they're happy with that. Doc wasn't happy with that.
No, he would get frustrated with it, and it was a shame to see his career end the way it did, because we had grown so used to him just being dominant.
Just like his tank got empty overnight.
You know, it is nice to see him back in the Phillies uniform, and where it leads him, well, that's what he said he's looking to find out. Kevin Pillar leads it off against Alec Asher. Asher takes over for Jared Eickhoff, who went 3 innings, scattered 7 hits and 4 runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Pillar hits one well to right center field. Altair on the run. He won't get there, and it's off the base of the wall. He plays it beautifully. Pillar, though, pulls into second with a leadoff double here in the 4th. Well, if today's any indication, the Blue Jays have not changed their approach to offense from last year.
No, they have not. The ball's driven right there, but like you said, well played by Aaron off the right center field wall. Karam's right to him. Say Karam or Kareem's?
I say Karam's. Well,
they use Kareem in hockey, though. Kareem's off the half wall.
You know what? The next time I do a hockey game, I'll see how it comes out.
I always say Karam's as well.
It's over our heads and out of play, and Kareem's off the TV truck behind us. I'm not even sure if I used that properly. Morales is 0 for 1. He struck out and he walked. That was against Jared Eickhoff. That one's hit well to left center field. That's going to split the gap and head toward the track. Cut off by Altair. Run scores. 5-0. Blue Jays on top. Back-to-back doubles.
And the 4th extra base hit of the day for these Blue Jays. See, Alec misses his spot. Moore wants it in. Ball creeps out over the plate. These guys are so good at using the whole field.
So now with a runner at second base, it'll be Steve Pearce, who is 1 for 2, a single and a ground out to short. Alec Asher last year was suspended for 80 games, but prior to that, his numbers were very good in the minor leagues. Started 4 games for Lehigh Valley, was 3-0 with a 2.45 ERA. Began the year in Double-A, pitched well there. Suspended for 80 games, and then was eventually brought up by the Phillies, and after going 0-6 with a 9.5 ERA during his major league debut in 2015. He looked pretty darn good last year. In 5 games with the Phillies, he went 2-1 with a 2.28 ERA. And ball 4. Third walk issued by Phillies pitching, and it puts runners on first and second for Tulowitzki. Well, John Gibbons' team today has 9 hits, 5 runs on 9 hits, and we mentioned that offense wasn't a big issue last year. In reality, nor was the starting pitching. As a team, they had a 3.78 ERA, but they were 3rd in home runs with 221. And they were 5th in runs scored. No reason to think that they can't reach those numbers, even with the loss of Edwin Encarnacion.
I like their pitching staff too. I know we always think of them as big thumpers, but I like their starting staff.
Here's Tulowitzki. One ball, no strikes. Rowdy Tellez has come on to pinch run for the Blue Jays over at first. And that's out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's Rowdy. Blue Jays finished atop the wild card last year with 89 wins. Blue Jays and the Orioles. They had a very odd wild card game, which Buck Showalter, I would think, is still tired of talking about why he didn't pitch Zach Britton.
I think that is one thing I personally would like to see, is that one game. They got to make it a 3-game series. You bust your tail the entire season. That's just me. What do you say?
I say don't lengthen the postseason anymore.
Oh.
2 balls, 2 strikes. I do agree that it would be better to be a best of 3, just because what you said, but I probably wouldn't have added it. But the fact that they added it, I don't want to lengthen the postseason into November.
Well, you do whatever you can. You get into that game, and then one and you're out.
Up and in, 3-2. But I have to say, those 1-game playoffs have been very entertaining.
They have been. They have been. But it's not like it's football where you play 16 games a year. You know, you play at 162 for a reason, and to have it be settled by 1 game is, I don't know.
Yeah, but again, 5 years ago there wouldn't have been.
I agree.
That extra team.
It's just my opinion, Tom.
No, I'm with you. Over toward third, that could be 2. Franco steps on the bag and throws to first in time. It's a 5-3 double play. And a runner on second with 2 men down.
Did Michael come in and charge it? Takes the easy one at third, but gets a little relaxed, gets underneath the ball and sails it to first. But nice play by Knapp.
Mike.
Here's Saltalamacchia, who is 2 for 2. Homer the last time up. Russell Martin will be the everyday catcher for the Blue Jays. And it seems like Saltalamacchia has a leg up on being the backup. Fortunately, Galvis is able to back it up. Now, they were working on that earlier today before batting practice. So there had to be a miscommunication between Galvis and Logan Moore.
Does Freddie not have the best hands around?
Thank goodness he does.
Look at this. Just a backhand. He never fights the baseball. You know, he just lets it come to him. He's just so soft with his hands.
Two 2-0. That is a miscommunication, though, right?
Yes.
Between the infielder and the catcher.
Yeah, I wouldn't think they would do it with such a big shift on.
Over toward that shift. Ooh, right off the chest of Knapp. That's a fair ball. Tellez stops at third. That ball was smoked on one hop. I would think that's the 3rd hit of the day for Saltalamacchia.
Yeah, it'll go down as a hit. This is the catcher and Andrew Knapp coming out right here. Man. But throughout the course of a season, you know, if Alex is able to get out of right here, it's a run saver. It's what the coaching staff loves to see. Lucky that didn't go off his collarbone.
It's lucky he didn't go off his face. Whew. I mean, it took a hop off that divot, one of those divots out there. So 10 hits now for the Blue Jays. Here's Melvin Upton, who's 1 for 2.
Pretty good pitch there, Tom.
Mm-hmm. Outside, 2-0.
First pitch slider here by Alec Asher. I think he catches plate. Good to me.
It looked good from back here. Change up. 2-2.
See, he gets up and way out in front. Very good changeup. Good arm speed on that pitch there. It's just so hard to get younger players to really trust that grip. The grip's going to dictate how hard the ball comes out of your hand. They just think they have to slow their arm speed up. It's the same arm speed.
Saltalamacchia will be taken off from first base. Runners on first and third, 2 outs here at the top of the 4th inning. Fly ball center field. Aaron Altair backpedals a few strides. A run for the Blue Jays in the inning. On 3 hits, they lead 2. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota's One for Everyone sales event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Bottom of the 4th inning. And the Phillies trail at 5-0. Blue Jays have made 3 changes in this inning. They have brought in a new pitcher. That's Jason Grilli. Gurley, the veteran, former closer for the Pittsburgh Pirates. You want to talk about a guy who's reinvented himself after being down in the minor leagues with the Phillies. He went to the Pirates and then started closing for them and really was an effective closer.
Found about 6-7 miles on his fastball and was dominant.
Last year he split time between the Braves and the Blue Jays at an ERA of 4.12. He was closing for Atlanta and then was the setup guy for Robert Ozuna for the Blue Jays. Other two changes, they've just flip-flopped the second baseman and the third baseman. Darwin Barney is now playing second, and Ryan Goins moves from second base to third base. Phillies trail at 5-0, still looking for the first hit of the afternoon.
Liriano, good riddance to you.
Seriously. 3 innings, 5 strikeouts, no hits, 1 walk. And he's listed as their 5th starter. Here's Howie Kendrick. It'll be Kendrick, Maikel Franco, and Michael Saunders. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And Kendrick takes up and in, 1 ball, no strikes. Like the same pitch, but it's called a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Kendrick. Kendrick bounced back to Liriano his first time up. Opposite way, 1-2. Gurley's high water mark during his career as a closer was 33 saves with Pittsburgh in 2013. He was an all-star that year. He followed that up pitching with the Pirates and the Angels the next year. He had 12 saves, but not as good an ERA with Pittsburgh, and they decided to trade him to the LA Angels, kind of just to change the landscape a little bit. And he was better with the Angels from an ERA standpoint, but still not the same. And then moved to the Braves.
So remember, Jason Gurley was the 1st-round draft pick out of Seton Hall by the Marlins. We had the same agent. He was in Calgary, and agent flew all the way out to Las Vegas where we were in AAA and wanted to see me catch, and Jason was pitching and knocked him out in the 1st inning, hit a line drive off his ankle.
You did?
I did.
I don't know if that's the nice way to do it. Kendrick goes down on strikes, 1 away, and that brings Maikel Franco to the plate. Well, Murph, when Matt Stairs was sitting with us this morning in the office, I don't think he envisioned no hits through the first 3 1/3 today.
No, I think you're probably right about that, Tom. You know, he was talking about this offense getting going, and you know, in the grand scheme of things, he's been relatively pleased with what he's seen. The Phillies rank 11th in Major League Baseball in hits this spring, 5th in runs scored, and that certainly is a good sign. But a lot of those runs and hits are coming from some of the young guys, which is good. And we heard from Brock Stassi talking a little bit in the open today about how, you know, he needed to hit the ground running. He understands that. And Matt said, you know, it's a fine balance of trying to get these veteran guys who are still working on some things early in spring training. But now's the time where he said, I'd like to see these guys starting to get some hits, starting to produce a little bit more than maybe they have early in the spring. And, you know, I guess, Ben, you've been through it. You know, when you know that you have a roster spot, or you're certainly pretty certain you have a roster spot, I would imagine the approach early in spring is different than what you do later in spring. When does that change for you? Is it the 3rd week? Because this is an especially long spring for the guys this year.
Well, some guys have different, you know, different techniques or what they want to do in spring training. A lot of guys like to see a lot of pitches. And someone like a Brock Stassi, he wants, like he said with you in the interview before the game, Murph, he wants to open eyes. He's going to do everything in his power and take advantage of every opportunity. Someone like a Michael Sunners taking a first pitch strike there. That might be something he wants to see more pitches. He knows he's going north with the ball club.
Right.
So, yes, different things factor in, but you have to realize, you know, if you get a good pitch, I wasn't one of those guys. If I get a good pitch, I don't care if I knew I was making the team or trying to make the team, I was going to take a good hack at it.
Yeah, Stassi, I think that's such a hard line to walk. You know, knowing that, all right, I'm battling for a spot, but I also have to work on just getting ready for a baseball season, whether it be in the big leagues or in the minor leagues.
Right.
Yeah, certainly the luxury for some of these young guys, especially the guys that were on that list earlier that we showed in the game that are battling for these spots that are left. You know, the job is a little bit different. But from the hitting coach's standpoint, from Matt Stairs' standpoint, he seemed to think that now's the time that maybe the veteran guys start, you know, swinging at those early fastballs in the count and maybe getting some hits and you know starting to make some things happen out there on the field.
Yeah, no hits today. 1 walk for the Phillies. That's it. 2 outs here in the 4th. 1 and 2 to Saunders. And he fouls it off the screen. I think the one thing that we can all agree upon, though, is that Matt has enjoyed himself as the hitting coach so far. I think he's enjoyed every bit of it.
Not enjoying today, though.
No, today he's moving around because he's trying to change the mojo a little bit. Two and 2 to Michael Saunders. Over toward Mickey Morandini. There's been a couple of swings like that today. Now this is a different pitcher, but there's been a couple of there were a couple times even with Liriano out on the mound where there were a couple of check swings like that.
Yeah, Logan Moore had a check swing ground ball to third base. You're just not picking the ball up. Better than swinging through it, though. On time there. Good swing. Head down on it. Good extension. Just clip the bottom of it.
Front, fouls it off to the first base side.
Where you tell yourself, all right, I've seen them all. I know what he's trying to do. Just stay off the pitch above your hands and see the pitch down into the dirt. That's it. You've seen them all. Now win the battle. This is where it gets personal. I don't care if it's spring training. I don't care if it's March 9th. That's the pitch there. Pitch above your hands. A long talk with Charlie today about the pitch that's up, you know, at the top of the strike zone. He said, Ben, it's simple. The pitch is above your hands. Don't swing at it.
10th when the Phillies battle the New York Mets. It's all part of a 3-game series. Tickets can be purchased for the first $1 dog night by going to Phillies.com. Hello, with Ben Davis and Greg Murphy, I'm Tom McCarthy. Welcome to Clearwater, Florida. One of the prettiest places on earth. And the Phillies trailing at 5-0. Alec Asher in his second inning of work will face Ezekiel Carrera, Darwin Barney, and Ryan Goins. Asher allowed a run on 3 hits in the 4th inning after Jared Eichhoff allowed 4 runs over 3 innings of work. Oh, and 2.
Nice pitch.
Nice job by the ball girl to track that one.
Seymour wants it up and in. Gets it there.
Over on the minor league complex, inter-squad games or scrimmages have started today. So if you're coming down to Clearwater, not only do you have a chance to watch games on the big field, but you can also head over to the Carpenter complex and take a look at some of the minor league games going on. Some of the minor leaguers getting some work in. Two-2 pitch off the end of the bat. Cesar Hernandez out at second base. And Darwin Barney is due up next for the Blue Jays.
Nice job by Alec using the whole plate. In, out, up, down.
Barney had a sac fly his last time up. Joe Smith just lost the baseball. It came right out of his hand. Liner out towards short. A base hit past Freddie Galvis. Watch this. Joe Smith sidewinder. Whoop. How does that happen?
It went on the field. Howie Kendrick just retrieving it now.
I think that's a good pickup by the Blue Jays. Joe Smith, who has closed games but can be a setup guy.
Especially in that ballpark. The guy that sinker baller keeps the ball down. Especially in that division as well.
Ryan Goins takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to Goins. Just missed below the knees. It was low. Close, but it was low. Barney goes back to first base. 11 hits now for the Blue Jays today, and we're only in the 5th inning. 5 runs on 11 hits. Phillies do not have a hit. They've struck out 7 times this afternoon. A high fly ball to deep left field. Kendrick going back toward the track, makes the catch. And back to first goes Barney. 2 outs.
Ball just kind of died out there and came off the bat nicely. It just, there's a bit of a crosswind from left field blowing out towards right. Got caught up in that wind a little bit. A nice right route by Howie nonetheless.
Breeze is a little different here today than it has been at Spectrum Field in recent afternoons.
It's Kevin Pillar's 4th at bat already.
So far 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. And Asher starts him off with a curve, and it's 0-1. Oh, and 2. There's Aaron Nola. Nola pitched 2 days ago. He was fighting his command a little bit, but he still feels like he's healthy, which is good. 0-2 pitch coming to Pillar. And a line drive over the head of Galvis into left field. Stopping at second base is Barney. That's the second hit for Pillar. And runners on first and second with 1 man down. Boy, they are mashing the ball today.
This is nice hitting here. And that pitch is down. What makes this is his follow through, his extension after contact. Watch, he gets to it, finishes high. And if he cuts that ball off or doesn't finish his swing that high, he's going to roll that over to the left side.
Here's Morales, who has an RBI double today. Rowdy Tellez is in the on-deck circle. He came on to pinch run for Steve Pearce. The 4th inning. There he is. He's got a better number this year than last year. 2-0. To center field, here comes Altair, and he makes the catch, reaching down at the last moment. And that'll do it for the Blue Jays here in the 5th. No runs, 2 hits. They lead 2. And Aaron Altair got a great jump on this to finish off the top of the 5th. We've got a great opening weekend of baseball at Citizens Bank Park coming up the first weekend in April, the 7th, 8th, and 9th. On the 7th, it's Nemours opening day. The 8th is McDonald's opening night, and Sunday the 9th is Cavity Busters Kids opening day. Now, not only do you get the opening day part of it down on Friday, but you also get that cap when you come to the ballpark. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com.
Number 38, Joe Smith.
Changes for the Blue Jays. Justin Smoke takes over at first base for Toronto. There he is. Anthony Alford comes in to play right field for the Jays. They've moved around the infield. Jake Elmore is now at third base. And Darwin Barney moves back to second base for the Jays. Ryan Goins moves from second base to shortstop. There's Goins. He's been the world traveler around the infield today. He and Barney both. And the new pitcher is right-hander Joe Smith. Smith was on the Cubs roster last year when they went to the World Series, but he was hurt. So although he got a chance to sort of bask in all of the glory of winning a world championship, he unfortunately was not healthy enough to pitch. And so far spring, he's allowed 3 hits in 2 innings. He has struck out 3. First batter he faces is Tommy Joseph, who's only up for the 2nd time today.
I just talked about Kevin Pillar at 4 at-bats in 5 innings. Tommy Joseph not even able to play the field as he designated hitter today.
Fly ball center field. On the run is Siciliani, and he makes the catch. And 1 out. Not a bad swing.
No.
Joe Smith was originally drafted by the New York Mets in the 3rd round in 2006. Spent 2 years with the Mets before he was traded to the Indians. And then with the Angels, he closed out 15 games in 2014. And stayed with the Angels until last year when he was eventually moved over to the Chicago Cubs. Andrew Knapp takes down and away, 1-0.
I wonder if Goins has used 3 different gloves today.
Second, third, he could have.
He could have.
All right, so explain this. Second base, small glove.
Small to make the transition on the double plays. Third base,
bigger glove.
It's going to be the biggest one
because you have time.
Correct. And shortstop's going to be in the middle between a third baseman's glove and second baseman's.
3-0.
But the exception is the man who started at shortstop for the Blue Jays today, Tulowitzki, who uses a huge glove. Actually, it's an RV23 Rawlings, which is Robin Ventura, who was a third baseman.
3 balls and 1 strike. Good thing you were a catcher. You were a catcher. Your brother was a first baseman, right? As Knapp hits that one well to left center field. Siciliani on the run makes the catch over the shoulder. 2 outs.
Good looking swing there. And probably not a whole lot of kids watching yet. They're not home from school, but this is how you keep your head down on a baseball. That was a pretty swing there.
Freddie Galvis is 0 for 1. He struck out back in the 2nd inning. Outside, 1-0. Been a while since he hit, but he certainly has played the field.
That's a 3rd out of the inning.
And there is the first base hit of the day for the Phils.
Fans show their appreciation. Nice tight short swing here by Freddie. Pulls his hands through that pitch on the inside corner. Watch his hips go just a bit sooner. Pulls his hands through. Barrels it up.
toward the middle. That might sneak through. It does. A base hit for Logan Moore. First and second now for the Phils, and 2 men down. The hitting thing is contagious.
Blue Jays with a big shift on this ball hit. Most likely second base is going to be able to get there. Logan Moore will take it. So will the Phils. First and second, a couple outs.
Aaron Altair struck out his only time up.
Sinker here by Joe Smith, and Aaron just gets over the top of it.
Movement again at the end, 1-2.
Sinker ballers are tough, and I always tried to make sure I try to get my swing on plane a bit sooner, so you weren't coming down on the baseball so much. You always want to keep your bat in the zone, but have it quick through the zone. But you want to get into that slot a bit sooner, just so, I mean, he's counting on you to just come over the top of the ball. I wouldn't say it's an uppercut, but you want to make sure your swing's as level as possible. You can start coming down on the baseball. He's already has that downward movement with a sinker. You're going to smother it.
Almost like that swing right there where he bounced it up the third base line. Just a bit outside, 3-2. The runners will be off. And ball 4 to load the bases up. So 2 singles and a walk, and Cesar Hernandez will be the hitter. Jared Saltalamacchia out to chat with Joe Smith. Tim Leza is out warming up in the bullpen for the Blue Jays. Thought maybe they'd bring Meza in here to let him pitch against Cesar. Probably because the last 2 left-handed hitters picked up hits against Joe Smith. But I guess if you're the Blue Jays, you have to find out how effective Joe will be in both spots. That's where he usually is effective. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It seemed like he really gets set. I think that's close to a balk. He never really gets his hands set. He just kind of keeps him going. He gets to a slight pause, and then he just continues with his leg kick. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a movement.
There is. It's definitely not a clear stop by any means. Watch this delivery here. He just never stops. Pulling the ball in and out of his glove.
3 balls, 1 strike to Cesar. And ball 4. That'll force it to run. The Phillies are on the board. And it's now a 5-1 ball game. And that's going to be it for Joe Smith. They're going to go get the left-hander to face Howie Kendrick. They've already signaled to the pen. So after getting the first 2 hitters, Joe allowed a couple hits and then a couple walks. Phillies are on the board. It's bases loaded. The score is 5-1.
Need more.
Advantage of special group opportunities, including discounts, theme nights, and party areas by going to Phillies.com/group tickets. There are also special fundraising opportunities. It's a great way to raise funds and awareness. Now you need 25 or more in order to capitalize, but do so as we get closer to the start of the regular season. Bottom half of the 5th inning, the Phils have scored a run. They have the bases loaded and 2 men down, and Tim Meza is the new pitcher for the Blue Jays. Meza last year pitched in Single-A and Double-A. He had 4 saves overall, 42 games with a 3.66 earned run average, and you know every team is looking for a left-hander or 2 out of the bullpen. So Meza's a guy that has a chance to make the team this year out of spring training. But if not, we'll have a chance to make the team at some point this year because he'll most likely start in AAA. He is out of Millersville University. That's
nice.
right. Went to Upper Perkiomen High School. Now 25 years old, and he delivers a strike. Well, he's got a live arm. Whew. That fastball jumped in at 94 miles an hour. Blue Jays took him in the 12th round out of Millersville. And movement on that breaking ball. It's 0-2.
Dirty here. Late movement too.
See if he comes back with that same pitch. Fastball late on it. Both Bob Stumpo and the ball girl could not corral it.
A wrong-hander. Ball getting very deep on Howie. Sounded like he broke his bat, but obviously he didn't. Still has the same stick. Good take there.
Millersville had 3 players selected in last year's draft, including Reed Anderson in the 23rd round by the Texas Rangers. There's a line drive, base hit it to right field. That'll score a couple of runs. And going to third base and being held there is Cesar Hernandez, a 2-run single for Howie Kendrick. It's now a 5-3 ball game.
All with 2 outs. Bottle that swing, Howie. That is beautiful hitting. Short, sweet, bullet. And that's the slot he can get that bat into and use the right side of the diamond so effectively.
Being congratulated because Tyler Goodell has come on the pinch run for him over at first base. And now Michael Franco is the hitter. Franco 0 for 2, a ground out and a fly out to right field. At a fastball on the outer edge, 0-1. Oh, and 2.
12th round, huh? I just say that because a lefty throwing 94, 95. Few and far between.
Swing fouls it off to the right. Ball, 2 strikes to Franco. The pitch, swing and a miss. He tied him up with a breaking ball. Phillies sent 8 men to the plate. They get 3 runs in the inning. The first on a bases loaded walk, and then 2 more on an offensive field single by Howie Kendrick. We'll head to the 6th. Just finished up a surfing bit following up the ride around on his ATV. Top of the 6th inning, Blue Jays scored 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd. Jared Saltamaki's had a nice day, 3 for 3 with a home run, 2 singles. Not a great day for Jared Eichhoff. Alec Asher has picked up and has allowed 1 run through 2 innings of work, and now he will go to work and face Rowdy Tellez to start things off. First pitch is a strike. It'll be Tellez and then Jake Elmore. Tellez came on to pinch run. He ties him up. He can't see it. It's over his head. Charging is Galvis, and it's off the glove of Andrew Knapp. That was a heck of a play by Freddie Galvis. But that'll be an E3, I would think. Because they had him at first, right, Ben?
They sure did. Watch how quickly Freddie gets this ball in and out of his glove.
It certainly helped that Tellez did not run.
No. Man, that is just fun to watch. But it's a play that Andrew Knapp should make.
Yeah, Andrew still learning to play first base. So Tellez is at first, and Jake Elmore is the hitter. Well, I think they've scored that a hit.
I'm not giving him a hit.
And well, in the regular season, that would definitively be an E3, partly because Tellez didn't run, so he doesn't deserve a hit. And plus, they would have had him by a step. Elmore fouls it down the right field line. It's 0-2. I mentioned that Tyler Goodell came on the pinch run for Howie Kendrick, so he stays in the game to play lefts. Yesmuel Valentin is at second base. Taylor Featherston is over at third. Back toward the middle. Galvis waits. He'll take it to the bag himself. Fires to first in time. And a double play.
Show it off, Freddie. I'm thinking he's just going to flip this ball, but gets to that bag quickly. Airs it out to first base.
Man should have won a Gold Glove last year.
I'm with you.
Here's Reese McGuire up for the first time. 2 for 12 so far in the spring. 1 ball, no strikes to McGuire.
Getting back to that play, though, with Andrew Knapp, these are things that Pete McCann and his coaching staff, they're looking for. Can you play other positions, which Andrew's going to have to do? We know he can catch. Is he going to hit enough, and can he play other positions? Can he play first base effectively? You know, he had to misjudge pop-up earlier, and now this play from Freddie. I think all these things are going to factor into whether or not they take an Andrew Knapp.
Because of the versatility.
Correct. But it's one thing to be versatile. You have to be effective at what you're doing.
Right. And he still could be the backup catcher.
Yeah.
But they'd like him to be able to play a little first base because he is a switch hitter.
Yes.
He can hit.
Yes, he can.
All the decisions that the guy on the right has to make before opening day in Cincinnati. 2 balls, 2 strikes to McGuire, formerly of the Pittsburgh Pirates, where he was a #1 pick. And last year hit .254 combined between the Pirates and the Blue Jays organization. And a strike 3 call. Oh, nice couple innings for Asher, even though he's allowed some base runners. We'll move to the bottom of the 6th. Phillies down by 2. For just $50, get access to every Phillies regular season home game in the month of April. Tickets are delivered digitally to your mobile device via MLB.com, the ballpark ad. It's all part of the Phillies Spring Pass. Go to Phillies.com/Spring Pass for more information. Bottom half of the 6th inning. Some changes for the Blue Jays. In left field, it's John Birdie. He'll take over for Melvin Upton. Reese McGuire stays in the game to catch. Lourdes Gurriel is the new shortstop for the Blue Jays. Now the new pitcher is right-hander Dominic Leon, who was 0-1 with a 5.40 ERA this spring. And he'll face Michael Saunders as we begin the bottom of the 6th inning. Phillies down 2. At the knees, 0-1. Leon last year pitched in 25 games for the Arizona Diamondbacks and had an earned run average of 6.33. Going to Michael Saunders, who is 0 for 1 with a walk this afternoon. One ball, 2 strikes to Saunders. Will be followed by Tommy Joseph. Two and 2.
Intentional grounding there.
Sure was. There's Colton Murray warming up in the bullpen. Swing and a miss. Saunders strikes out. He's been down on strikes twice today. That's 8 strikeouts. Make it 9 strikeouts for Blue Jays pitching. And here's Tommy Joseph.
Fastball, a little bit of life down the zone. Michael just over the top of it.
Joseph 0 for 2. He has struck out. He's also flied out to center field. By the way, the Phillies with 6 wins this spring, 6-5-2. That's the second most wins among teams in the National League East. The Mets have 8 wins. Phillies with 6, and then the Nationals are under 500 at 5-6, and then the Marlins and the Braves. Back to shortstop. Took a tough hop at the last minute. Joseph's retired, 2 away. And here comes Andrew now.
Good hands there by Gurriel. As the sun beats down this infield, it'll get a little choppy out there.
Knapp has struck out. He's also hit one hard to center field. And it's no balls and 1 strike.
Went after that one. I know he made it out on his last at bat, but the swing he had on that line drive to center field, beautiful swing.
Andrew, I think he's going to come in to catch in the top of the 7th inning. At a strike 3 call, 3 pitches, and he's down looking. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Leon. 10 strikeouts overall for the Blue Jays this afternoon. We'll head to the 7th. MLB.TV Premium is back and better than ever. Watch every out-of-market game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, enjoy almost 300 spring training games and the 2017 World Baseball Classic. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. We move to the top of the 7th inning. The Blue Jays have 13 hits today, but they lead it by only 2. And Colton Murray will take over as the Fanatic. Well, that's about right. On a day like this, the Fanatic is going to lounge a little bit. Does that guy know a game's going on?
I don't think he has a care in the world.
that guy's sleeping too. Andres Blanco will take over at first base for the Phillies. Here in the top of the 7th inning. Nick Williams is in right field. And Colton Murray will be the new pitcher. In fact, we have a new backstop as well, as Andrew Knapp will move from first base to behind the plate. So the battery is totally different. Murray's been good in this spring. He's got 3 strikeouts and 3 innings of work. He's probably in here for just 1 inning. Dubry Ramos is scheduled to pitch, and I guess the Phillies will use one of the minor leaguers to pitch the 9th inning. And here is Gurriel to lead things off. And he takes upstairs. Gurriel has a homer so far this spring. .6'2". The Blue Jays signed him after he left Cuba to a 7-year, $22 million contract. He's had some hamstring issues during the course of this spring. And they are very high on him as he goes after that high fastball. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
That was, I'm swinging at this 2-0 fastball no matter where it is.
Yeah, my hope is that it's going to be somewhere around the plate.
Been there.
Off the mask of Knapp, and it's 2-2. Gurriel played for 2 different teams when he was in Cuba. His last year was 2015 as a 21-year-old. He hit .344. Overall, he hit .277 playing in Cuba. In the dirt, and 3-2. Ball 4, so he'll walk. And the leadoff batter is aboard here in the 7th inning. And Justin Smoke is due up. So the Blue Jays, who went to the postseason last year representing the American League East in the wild card, they've added J.P. Howell. We've seen Kendrys Morales and Steve Pearce and Salta Lamacchia and Joe Smith. They have lost Joaquin Benoit, who the Phillies have picked up. R.A. Dickey is now with the Atlanta Braves. And then Edwin Encarnacion is with Cleveland. Brett Cecil got an enormous contract with the Cardinals. So here's Smoke. And he fouls it. Two for 15 this spring. Smoke last year hit .217 for the Blue Jays, had 14 home runs, 34 runs batted in. On the outside corner, pretty good heat there from Colton Murray, 94.
Nice pitch.
Take a look at that strike on the outside corner, that fastball that he threw a moment ago.
Just had a good plane on it. A little bit of run. Knapp did a nice job of holding out in front for Phil Cuzzy to take a look at.
Colton is throwing more sliders this spring, kind of working on another pitch. He's got the curveball.
But we've talked about that big curveball. Sometimes it's hard to command.
Yeah, this outing it's been the slider that he's had a difficult time commanding. There it is again, and it's 2-2.
Seen him spike a couple of these. That's that big curveball there. It's just such a feel pitch for him. Sometimes when it's on, it's excellent. But that's why I think that slider is so good for him. When it's not on, he needs another pitch.
Barney on deck. He's played the whole day. And a strike three call. Smoke thought that was a tad high. And one out. Because he has had a high strike zone today.
Close enough to swing at, Tom. Just above the belt. No problem with that.
So now Darwin Barney. Barney has 2 hits today, a couple singles, a run scored, and an RBI. At the knees, 0-1. Back towards shortstop. Galvis will circle it. Goes to second for one. The relay to first in time. Strong arm by Valentin at second base. Galvis has had a good day defensively for the Phils. No runs, no hits, nobody left, and a little defense behind Colton Murray, who throws a scoreless top of the 7th. We stretch here at Spectrum Field. Lead the Phillies 5-3. Blue Jays with 5 runs on 13 hits. Hey, tonight at 7 on CSN, the playoffs are online as the Orange and Black are in Canada to take on rookie phenom Austin Matthews and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Flyers versus Leafs. Coverage begins at 7 over on CSN.
It's a big one for them.
You still watching it while you're down here?
I haven't caught any games since I've been down, but when I'm home, I watch every game.
Well, now the bottom of the 7th inning will have Freddie Galvis, Logan Moore, or Freddie Galvis, and then Andres Blanco and Aaron Altair. Will do so against Chad Garado. And the first pitch is in there. It's 0-1. Galvis today is 1 for 2. He had the first hit for the Phillies this afternoon, which came in the 5th inning. Over to the right side, and to his left is Birdie, and he makes the catch. And there's one away. But Freddie Galvis is used to the defense because the Phillies have watched him over the last couple of years evolve defensively, but today he's had a fantastic day. Look at this double play.
Gets to it. The feed is where Valentin gives it perfectly on the Blanco for the 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. But Freddie has had, I mean, the swing he had left-handed to get that first hit was excellent, but he's out there for his defense first and foremost, and he has been spectacular today.
Here's Andres Blanco. Well, he had a couple plays earlier, Murph, when Jared Eickhoff was in the game.
Yeah, and those don't go unnoticed by the Phillies pitchers. You can bet on that. Jared Eickhoff was asked about the play that got him out of a jam early in this game that Freddie Galvis made, and he smiled and he said, "I'll tell you what." He said, "I know that when that ball skips by me on the right side," he said, "I know that play is going to be made more often than not." And then he said, "In my opinion, Freddie Galvis is the Gold Glover." That's how good he is out there, and we've all seen it, and his pitchers certainly know it as well.
Yeah, I think it's a great assessment. You know, we talked about him not winning the Gold Glove last year. Brandon Crawford won the Gold Glove, which, you know, it's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but it is. I mean, Brandon Crawford is a very good defensive shortstop, but he did, you know, make 9 errors in the second half of last year. Freddie, he's going to win a Gold Glove at some point. Here's Altair. Altair is 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. And he takes a changeup for a strike. It's 0-1.
I know offensive numbers, they say they don't factor into it, but I know they do. You know, Crawford very good offensively. But in my opinion, obviously we're going to be biased, but I don't know how you could play a better shortstop than Freddie played last season.
We watch him every day. We don't see Brandon Crawford every day. Crawford gets to a lot of baseballs.
He does.
There's no question. He's won 2 Gold Gloves now. Two balls and 1 strike to Altair.
Hey, you overheating or what?
Working on a swing. 3-1 to Altair. He's got some hair going this spring, doesn't he?
Sure does.
Over to shortstop, and an easy inning for the Blue Jays. 7 in a row retired by the Blue Jays pitching. We'll head to the 8th. At 7 on CSN. The playoffs are on the line as the Orange and Black are in Canada to take on rookie phenom Austin Matthews and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Flyers versus Leafs. Coverage begins tonight at 7 over on CSN. On to the top of the 8th inning. Pedro Florimon comes on to play shortstop for the Phillies. He's had a very good spring defensively. And Dubry Ramos will take over on the mounds. Ramos try to pick up where Colton Murray left off. Murray pitched the scoreless 7th inning. Then he will face John Birdie to start things off here in the 8th inning. Ramos 3.00 ERA. Got 2 strikeouts in 3 innings of work. First pitch by Ramos is inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Ramos now 24 years old, out of Caracas, Venezuela. You probably know the story by now. We talked about it a lot last year. It's just an incredible story. A story of perseverance. Signed as a free agent in 2010 by the St. Louis Cardinals. Was in the Venezuela Summer League with the Cardinals because he was young. And eventually the Cardinals closed the complex. And he was out of a job. And then was out of a job for 2 years. Worked construction. And he said he never gave up the dream, but he did have folks that motivated him to try to keep after the dream of being a professional ball player. Outside 3-2. He was eventually signed by the Phillies after the 2012 season. Carlos Salas was in charge of the Venezuela scouting program at the time, and he signed him. And 2.5 years later, as a tip back to the box, 2.5 years later, he's added to the 40-man roster for the Phillies. Take advantage of an opportunity.
That he does, and you know the stuff is there. I think this one, I think he was expecting to be a little quicker. He makes the put out. I like the fact that he's still a young guy, but he's able to get back in counts with his off-speed pitches. It's huge. Yes, he's a hard thrower. That's a given.
Here's Dominic Siciliani, and he takes a little high. 1 ball, no strikes.
But you typically don't see that out of younger guys with big arms. Usually like to get back in the count with their heater. He can do it with his curveball and his slider. There it is right there. Perfect example.
Look out below. Get to the Phillies dugout. And it's 1-2. And a breaking ball and a called strike 3. You want to talk about a hitter being fooled. He was definitely fooled on that pitch, and there are 2 outs.
It's backdoors him here with a slider. Such a hopeless feeling as a hitter.
Here's Anthony Alford, is playing right field now for the Blue Jays. And the first pitch is over for a strike. It's 0-1. 22-year-old from Columbia, Mississippi. Spent last year in Single A in Dunedin at 236. 9 home runs, 44 runs batted in.
Shot a fastball down and away right here. Tried.
On the inside corner, strike 3 call. Back-to-back strikeouts for Ramos. A very comfortable top half of the 8th inning. Monday, CSN will present a 1-hour featured documentary, Tomboy, exploring women's participation in athletics and the challenges they face at every level, elevating the conversation about gender in sports. Tomboy, Monday night at 10, right after our coverage of the Flyers and the Blue Jackets. Bottom half of the 8th inning. Hello, everybody. Everybody raise your hand.
A lot of happy folks out there.
Everybody enjoying themselves at the Tiki Bar. Now, the new pitcher for the Blue Jays is right-hander Jarrett Grube. Grube this spring is an ERA at 6. And Valentin lines one into right field. And he's aboard to start the 8th inning. Pretty good swing. And here's Tyler Goodell.
Gets himself into a good count, 1-0. Goes out and hooks that ball in the right field. And he looks like his father.
Be great if he hits like his father. Tyler up for the first time. He came on the pinch run in the 5th inning. And it's 0-1. Grube was a 10th round selection of the the Colorado Rockies out of the University of Memphis. And he finally made it to the big leagues at the age of 32 with the LA Angels. That was back in 2014. I'm going to talk about perseverance.
Yeah. And then some.
During his minor league career, which spanned 13 seasons, or has spanned 13 seasons, he has pitched in 376 games. He has pitched in a lot of winter ball too, just to, I guess, maintain arm strength, but also make some extra money and try to open up some eyes for some other teams. Goodell goes down to get that and missed it. 1 out here in the 8th inning. And here's Taylor Featherston. Major League service 26 days, 35 years old. The dream is real. Featherston 1 for 10 so far this spring. 1 ball, no strikes.
Let's see a little first to third right here. Get Nick Williams up. That hole open at first.
Fly ball left field. Dwight Smith waits in the shadows of the light stanchions, and he makes the catch for the 2nd out here in the 8th inning.
Well, he just missed that by a tick, didn't he? That was a good swing there by Taylor. Good swing.
Well, Nick Williams will be the next one up for the Phillies as Featherston's retired.
He knows it too. It's a good pitch to hit.
Just a little out front.
Just a little out in front, but it's a good swing. A little frustrated.
There's Nick Williams, who has been pretty good this spring. 4 for 12. He's played a lot of the games late like this.
I'm just thinking, Tom, if you could go out on the field, play anywhere right now, what would it be?
Right now?
Right now.
Probably first base.
Okay.
You asked me 20 years ago, it might be behind the plate because I can still get down and get up. Plus, at that point, you know, guys like you in the league, I can do better than you. 1 ball, 1 strike to Williams.
I was just thinking.
Our crew just showed Mickey Morandini. It's probably more our speed is to be where Mickey is right now. Although my shoulders bother me. I don't know about the waving part of it.
I'm just thinking how much fun it'd be just to go out there and catch for a batter. I could get back there for 1 batter.
And a liner out toward right field. And it's caught by Alford. Phillies had a couple good swings in this inning. They get 1 hit and they leave 1. We're on to the 9th. Tonight here on TCN, cap off a busy day in Philly sports with the Sixers as they will take on the Portland Trailblazers. Coverage begins at 9:30 right here on TCN.
Think it's raining out there
in Portland. We go to the top of the 9th inning, and Ramos will continue to pitch. And he will face Rowdy Tellez. And it's in there for a strike. It's no balls and 1 strike to Tellez. Michael Marriott had been warming up. He's still warming up in the pen. Ramos had a fairly easy last half inning.
I don't even think he broke a sweat.
1-2. This could be one where he pitches just to 1 batter or 2 batters, and then they bring Marriott in. Over toward third and off the glove of Featherston. So Tellez is aboard. Well, he got the double his last time up on a ball that probably should have been scored an error. This one, it's kind of a tough play with that shift. And here's Jake Elmore.
I think that'll go down as a hit.
Yeah, I would think so. They have 13 today.
Well, they gave him an error. Tough league.
Runner goes, pitches chopped foul off to the right, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Elmore hit it to a double play his last time up.
He's just not rolling breaking balls in there. I mean, these things have some bite on them. They're good pitches.
Line drive caught by Featherston. Fires to first. And 1 out. Pretty good arm by Featherston over to first base.
Sure was. Ball scolded by Elmore. Gets rid of it quickly.
Bob McClure heading out to the mound, so Ramos's day is probably done. Michael Marriott will come in with 1 out here in the top half of the 9th inning. Phillies down by 2, 5-3. Nice job by Ramos in an inning and a third. Change with 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning. Michael Marriott takes over for Ramos with a runner at first base. Michael Marriott, who spent a little bit of time with the Phillies last year. This year so far in 4 games, he's an ERA of 0 in 3 1/3 innings of work. So as he tightens up and finishes up his warm-up tosses, taking over for Ramos, we will continue. Reese McGuire, who struck out looking his first time up, will be the first hitter to face Michael Marriott.
Ramos looked good, didn't he?
He looked good.
Man alive.
Marriott's looked good this spring,
He
too.
has.
Pete has always been. Pete was a big fan of Marriott last year.
Yes.
He liked his slider. I mean, there were some outings where he got himself in a little bit of trouble. Off the end of the bat, foul, and it's 0-1. Oh, and 2.
Another check swing.
Off the roof above us. Swing and a miss. There's that breaking ball we were talking about. 2 outs here in the 9th inning.
Sharp. Coming in here down and in. And the bottom just fell out of that one. Now that one had more depth on it than that lateral movement. Bottle that one.
Well, here's Gurriel. He walked his first time up, and he lines one to right center field, and that'll split the gap and go to the wall. Now this is going to score a run, and Gurriel is going to trot into second base with an RBI double. Well, that was closer than I thought. I think part of it is that Tellez just really does not run all that hard. Or maybe he tries and he's just not moving. But that was a pretty good swing by Gurriel. And it's now a 6-3 game.
It's a very good relay by Valentine, but I think why it was so close is because this ball's hit so hard. And it gets to the wall in a hurry. Aaron does a nice job, and it looks like he's running hard. He's just not going very fast,
Yeah,
Tom.
I think that's what it is. Well, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
Believe me.
Here's Justin Smoke with the runner at second base. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. Blue Jays certainly do have some pretty good prospects if you throw Gurriel in there too. You know, they got Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Anthony Alford, who is in the game today. He's one of their top prospects as well. 2 balls and no strikes. Three and out. left center field. Aaron Altair, the center fielder, comes in. So does Goodell, and it's Goodell who puts it away. Another run scores for the Blue Jays. It's an unearned run as we go to the bottom of the ninth.
At WB Mason, there's never been a gray area when it comes to
the Phillies 6-3 here at Spectrum Field. We talk about how beautiful this place is. Well, all around Florida, you've got some pretty good spring training homes. We told you Dunedin is pretty close here to Clearwater, but on the East Coast, they got some action going on over there as well, Ben.
Yes, they do. You have the Astros here, and that's here, and they were up in this region. They were up in Vieira. They moved down here, and of course the Astros were in Kissimmee. And then next year, we're going to have the Braves, and they're going to go just south of Sarasota. So they're going to make the move from the Orlando area down to between Port Charlotte and Sarasota.
Yeah, so they're going to wind up going to Northport, which is a sort of a suburb of Sarasota in that same general vicinity. So the Pirates will be happy about that. So will the Orioles, because there's not a lot of travel then for those matchups. Here's Tommy Joseph as we begin the bottom of the ninth inning. Joseph is 0 for 3 today. He has struck out, he's flied out, and he's grounded out to shortstop. And he takes at the knees. It's 0-1. Chris Smith is the new pitcher for the Blue Jays. There he is. Well, he's down by 3 after the Jays scored an unearned run in the ninth inning. Tommy Joseph hits one deep to left field. Smith going back, and it is gone. A home run for Tommy Joseph, his second of the spring, and it's now a 6-4 ball game.
See what happens when you can keep your hands back. Tommy gets fooled on this just a hair. Gets out in front. You keep your hands back, you keep the thunder back. And then you have that follow through, that extension. I'm so big on it. Probably tired of hearing me talk about the extension, but to hit that ball, what a short swing. But to finish where he does is why he's able to create that backswing and hit it on out of here. Watch the extension, how he gets out this way. See where that bat goes? Out that way. That is exactly what you want. That's creating backspin right there.
Exit velocity was 97 miles per hour, and it went out 359 feet away. It's a little shorter than the first home run Tommy hit this spring, which went off the roof of the Tiki Bar. Here's Andrew Knapp, who's 0 for 3. Swing and a miss. 0-1. Chris Smith last year saved 15 games for New Hampshire, which is the AA affiliate of the Blue Jays. He had a 1.93 ERA between two teams. He also pitched for Buffalo, which is the AAA affiliate. Was not the closer there. Through that 0-2 pitch, and it's 1-2.
And you're not really able to get the count in his favor today. Struck out his first at bat against Liriano, which a lot of the Phillies did. Did have the fifth inning, didn't have that nice line drive to center, but struck out his last at bat on 3 pitches.
Over to first base. Smokes got it. 3-1 on the put out. 1 out here in the 9th inning.
But I do like his swing a lot. I really do.
Well, he certainly has some upside.
It's just a classic smooth swing. And Charlie said today, he said, you know, what's weird about Knapp is the fact that he's literally has the same swing from both sides of the plate.
It's not, you know, your swing wasn't the same.
No,
right?
not even close. And Charlie says, and it's, you know, what's good about that is that it's a really good swing from both sides of the plate. And I agree. I do like his swing a lot.
Here's Florimon, who has 3 hits so far in spring training. A little high, and it's 1-0. By the way, the Phillies will be back in action again tomorrow. Here at Spectrum Field will be on TCN as they take on the Yankees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Clay Buchholz is scheduled to pitch tomorrow for the Phils. Vince Velasquez is scheduled to pitch in Dunedin on Saturday. Three balls and 2 strikes. Phillies need a base runner to bring the tying run to the plate here in the 9th inning. And ball 4. Florimon's aboard. And Andres Blanco will get a chance to hit for the 2nd time. He went out toward deep left center field his first time up. That was tracked down by Dwight Smith. This time though, hit left-handed against the righty. One ball, no strikes.
Sounded good.
Sure did. Came in at 94. All right, you're going to visit to the mound right now. You're down 2-0. They just walked a batter. If you're Blanco, you can really square up one, or at least expect to in this spot.
Don't get cheated. But just because it is 2-0 doesn't mean you're just swinging just because. Still has to be in your zone. If he throws it anywhere else, who cares? It's 2-1.
3 balls, no strikes. Ball 4, and that puts runners on 1st and 2nd. Back-to-back walks, and Aaron Altair is going to be the hitter. Blue Jays have just started to get somebody up. Denny Barnes is starting to warm in the bullpen. Roman Quinn is going to pinch run for Andres Blanco. Get a little extra speed on the base paths. Altair is 0 for 2. He struck out and he's grounded out. He also walked back in the 5th inning. And there's a strike, slider, and it's 0-1. Well, this is probably going to be his last batter that he will face. But if you're Aaron Altair, you've got the count 2-1. There's Barnes warming up.
And Smith just threw you 3 straight sliders.
Right.
So I'm dead red heater right now.
Runners lead off first and second. Good speed on the base paths. There it was, 94. And it's 2-2.
If he does spin another one on you, so be it. But the odds of a big league pitcher throwing you 4 straight sliders, not real good. And that strays a string. In this situation, I should say.
Swing and a miss. He threw him another slider. Got the strikeout, and there are 2 outs here in the 9th inning.
That one pretty sharp. It was a strike for a while, then the bottom just fell out of it. Good pitch.
So now it's left to Yesmuel Valentin. Valentin, his first time up, singled. The Phillies have 5 hits here this afternoon. They trail at 6-4. Fly ball center field. Siciliani is under it. And that'll do it for the Phils here in the 9th inning, and the Blue Jays walk away with a 6-4 victory. Well, a little bit of trouble in this 9th inning for the Jays, but they're able to get out of it. So Pete Maccannon's team slips to the 500 mark at 6-2 with their setback here this afternoon. First time the Jays are here in Dunedin, or here in Clearwater. Phillies will see them again in a couple of days. Our delivery of the game brought to you by W. Mason. How about the defense of Freddie Galvis?
Freddie Galvis there with a 6-3 unassisted double play. And you said the pirouette in that 2nd inning there for Jared Eichhoff, and then the feed to Valentin. He just did it all defensively today. Did mix in a nice bullet to right fielder for a knock, but they are your W.B. Mason deliveries of the game.
So the Jays bang out 14 hits today. They win at 6-4. We'll be back to Clearwater to wrap it up right after this.
Phillies and Yanks clash as spring training continues.